together at Portman Road. Oh, Tony Daly. Oh, that was an unforgivable challenge from Mark Stimson. He's going to accept his punishment.
Yes, I would imagine that's going to be a yellow card. He was probably just a little bit surprised by the pace of Tony Daly. Tony just got a little poke on the ball to take it past him, and he's so late there. Thoroughly deserving of a yellow card for that one.
Well, he looks every inch the midfield hard man, but he's a softly spoken gentleman, Mark Stimson. He went over immediately to apologise. He's the latest to find out that Tony Daly, despite his dodgy knees, still has that turn of pace.
He's had a fair old influence on things in midfield. He's won bits and pieces in there and set one or two things going. I think he's had a good first 45 minutes.
He's okay, Tony Daly. He's had a succession of injuries this season, both of his knees, an ankle problem, a little bit of illness as well. Of course, it was injury which finished him at the top level. His last club was Walsall, also played for Wolves. So the most successful part of his career spent at Villa Park. He's actually studying sports science now. And part of his role at the club is not only to run up and down the wings and score goals, but to set the diet for his part-time teammates. He's banned the packet of crisps and a pint after the game. Will it be champagne for Daly? Gets around Stimson. That's the first sign of danger we've seen from Daly. It's a good cross. Now Foster takes a deflection, but it took the sting off the shot. And it got in, you know. The flag had stayed down.
It was a good chance, that, wasn't it? It was almost a miss-hit shot by Foster, and it fell to Forest Green striker. The two of them in there. One of them should have put that away. It was a good chance. It was their best chance of the match.
Kennedy for Canvey. There has been a noticeable improvement from Forest Green since the break.
I think the message has got home to the players from Nigel Spink and David Norton. Hey, we're better players than we've shown. Let's go out and do it. It's a cup final. Let's go and do ourselves justice. And they just look as though they might well do that now.
Foster. First touch in the final for the substitute, Frankie Bennett. An exciting, enticing wing player. He's up against the mean-spirited Chris Duffy. He's had a great game on this left side of defence. Bennett's cross. Clark in there. It's a header from Burns.
Another effort at goal. That'll do the confidence the world of good. I can see a different mood about the Forest Green players now. They're pepping things up. They're up in the tempo, and they've got to continue to get the ball out to the two wide players.
Daly. He's having more luck against Kennedy on that left-hand side of the Forest Green attack in the second half. Clark. Now Burns hit his hand, but it was accidental, says Mr. Wiley. Meacham, desperate to get into his workplace, which is the penalty area. He's a natural scorer who hasn't had a great opportunity to shine at Villa Park today.
Well, it's starting to give the Forest Green supporters something to shout about, and let's see if we can get some quality in from this one from Slater.
Dealt with by Tilson, but another corner.
Again, you would expect better quality from a player of his stature in the game. You would expect better quality from the delivery.
His combined fees are almost £3 million, Stuart Slater. Takes the corner. It's not a bad corner as well. Pressure was on Harrison. He punishes superbly. Tilson, the Canvey captain. I'm sure he'll be contemplating lifting that trophy, but there's a long way to go.
One of us say about typical central defenders' efforts at goal. Billy Clark there won't be too proud of that shot. Went well wide of the goal.
He's not had a bad scoring record this season for a central defender. 5 goals. He's been pretty much an ever-present. Cousins hoists it long, right down the centre of the field. Bodley heads away. Now Daly, who's been given freedom by Canvey Island. That could be a mistake. I'm sure as a manager he was often a frustrating player to have in your side.
He was. You didn't know from one match to the next what he was going to produce, but it was always the chance in moments in the game that he would just produce an electrifying run and set up a chance. Didn't score enough goals for all his ability. He wasn't as clinical as he should have been in his finishing.
Well, that's an exciting player. Star attraction today. Just needs one moment of magic from Tony Daly and the game could be turned. It's Canvey Island through Vaughan. Looking for Duffy. Good turn from Duffy. And Perry combines, and that was lashed over by Pimenta.
That was a great opportunity. It was Duffy getting forward again from the full-back position. Lost his mark and got in the box, and I thought he should have hit it again a stride earlier. It was on his left side, but he elected to come inside the defender, and then Pimenta really should have finished the rebound off. He should have took that one away, at least hit the target, and he'd be disappointed with that one.
The first time that Canvey Island crossed the halfway line in the second half, but they proved just how dangerous they can be. Duffy. Officially they're not a full-time team, Canvey Island, but Chris Duffy concentrates on his football. It's the record signing, £5,000, very well spent by Jeff King. There is Duffy. Tilson. Daly. Caught again, but he gets up, recovers well. That's the old Tony Daly.
Referee did well there to play advantage and keep the move going.
Lockwood said a no risks policy. With respect to Forest Green, I'm sure he's hoping that he can go back to Reading and earn himself a longer future at the club. He's not played in the Football League yet for them, but he's only 19 years of age. In the second half, the edge in terms of possession has been Forest Green's, and they've had a fair few chances.
I think the two managers will be very pleased with the start they've had this half. Bearing in mind the way they played first half, they've really picked the tempo up and have had 1 or 2 good chances.
Away. He's got a free kick. It's been a wonderful adventure for the followers of Canvey Island over the last decade. When Jeff King joined them, they were playing in the Essex Senior League. He took them to the Vars in '93. Now here they are in the top final in non-league football. The Forest Green Rovers are a developing club as well. First Gloucestershire club to win a senior footballing trophy. It's a great little organisation they have.
It's a very well-run club, and when you think the population of the nearest Nailsworth is about 6,000, it's a tremendous achievement to be playing at the level that they're competing at.
I love the way they describe themselves, a suburb of Nailsworth. The little club on the hill is how they describe themselves, which is a bit of an understatement. Very professionally run. Nailsworth on the map. I just admit, I'd be hard pressed to find it. But Daly. Forced up. Young, enthusiastic player who can make things tick. Oh, Duffy have made a mistake there, which led him Bennett.
He took a big risk then, Duffy, and nearly paid a penalty for it. Bennett was bright enough to read him, trying to let it go out for a goal kick. Got to keep getting that ball out to Tony Daly. He's had 1 or 2 runs now, produced a cross, and got the balls in the front players. It's vital they keep getting it out to him when he's in a good spell like this.
Daly has maybe benefited with the introduction on the other side of the field of Frankie Bennett, because it's split the concentration of the Canvey defenders. Corner to Forest Green. This time they don't crowd the penalty area, they're all coming in late. Slater hits it long, goalkeeper's view was blocked and it went through the legs of Billy Clark. Tony Daly draws 4 defenders, first one gets it. Cousins. Now Slater, the old Celtic midfield player, another good cross. He's desperate for somebody to apply a gloss touch. Parmenta. Duffy. Tilson, the skipper, so the ball, great backlit. Parmenta's cross. There's a spare man in the penalty area, which we didn't make the most of. I think I'm a little bit further. Gregory was waiting.
That was quite a good move. That Tilson played a lovely little ball down the line, and it was a great cross from Parmenta. And they did have a man over at the back, Canvey Island. They might have made more of that.
Stimson. Alex Meechin overruns the ball. He's had a miserable afternoon. Has been rested for the last 3 games before his screen to get him into tip-top shape for today.
Well, when you look at the events of the FA Cup final yesterday and the 2 late goals from Michael Owen, he's been a prolific goal scorer this season, and they've got hope that he gets 1 or 2 chances in this half of the game to pull Forest Green back into it.
Cousins just controls. Parmenta hits it long. Now Vaughan. Far post is Gregory, but Clark could have that particular avenue.
He makes good runs, Vaughan. He's another one where he's found a little space down the side of the Forest Green central defenders, and the ball was delivered to him. He looks a very bright lad up front. He's had quite a good game.
He came through the Spurs youth system with the likes of Ledley King and John Piercy and Alton Thelwell, who made the grade at White Hart Lane. When Vaughan, the former England schoolboy, drifted out of the full-time game. He's been a massive hit with Canvey Island. From Neil Gregory. Plays the role of the big target man superbly. just sit back and soak up the pressure.
It's a dangerous game to be playing. I think they have dropped 5 or 10 yards deeper.
Oh, great run from Bennett, gets around Duffy, and I think that was a shot at goal, you know. He's made a difference since he's come on, Frankie Bennett. Now Daly, another good cross. The Canvey Island defenders beginning to work overtime. It was Steve Ward's header away.
Certainly giving the Forest Green supporters something to shout about now. They're getting behind the team. Both wide players are looking a threat when they get the ball, and I thought there were 2 good positions they got themselves into then. Should have produced better.
Slater. Now Cousins. Forest Green drive on. Foster. Clever feet. Far post, there's a chance. Well, the best chance of the game undoubtedly so far for Forest Green. A.D. Foster taking the ball off his namesake Martin.
That's a good chance, that. I would have expected him to have hit the target because the defender was clearly going to miss the ball, and he had a free header at the back post. Again, should have done better, but it's looking very promising now for Forest Green. It was another cross that's produced a strike on goal.
A clever bit of movement from A.D. Foster, which took him away for the first time today from his shadow, Steve Ward. Daly. Away he goes, and that's not a bad shot as well, and Harrison had to make his first difficult save of the afternoon.
That's a great strike from distance. Suddenly warming up for Forest Green, isn't it? And let's hope they keep this pace up and get an equaliser. Totally unbiased, but I think we need an equaliser.
From a neutral
really.
point of view, I know what you mean.
Unbiased. It would make a good game of it now if Forest Green can score. But they say in football you've got to score in your good spells, and Forest Green is certainly having a good spell at the moment and creating chances.
It's like a flashback with Tony Daly there. You can see from the graph that Forest Green have had the upper hand in the second half. They still trail Canvey Island by a single goal.
Well, credit to the joint managers, Nigel Spink and David Norton. They've done what they had to do at half-time, and they've certainly produced a better side for the second half. A lot more determination about them, a lot more pace about the play, and I think they've done a good job in whatever they did at half-time, whatever they've said to the players.
Steve Perrin. It's a family business at Forest Green. He's the goalkeeper and his brother's the chief scout. He's done his homework on Canvey Island. And all of the reports were that they are a very impressive club. Well run. Now Slater for Forest Green. Beginning to take a grip of the game, but Canvey won't crack. Slater. Daly. Stimson for Canvey. Tilson. That was offside, Duffy. It just got a fraction or two too early. Let's hear again from Jeff King. The last time we went down to him, they almost scored. We might be his lucky omen. He's with Brindlaw.
Well, Jeff, how do you think things are going in this second period?
Well, they're on top at the moment, in fairness, but we thought that would happen. I mean, they're 1-0 down. They've got to try and chase it, and hopefully things will develop a little bit better for us in a short while. But it had to happen like this. I mean, there's no way they're going to lay down. It's a cup final, and there's no way would they just let it happen like that. Hopefully, we'll catch them on a break and punish them. Like we look like we. Oh, that's a foul.
Thanks, Jeff.
Daly. Meacham. Daly wanted it back. Meacham's kind of run into a cul-de-sac. Space opens up for Foster. Ooh. Well, he's getting the opportunities.
It was a bad first touch, really. Didn't get it out of his feet cleanly enough to get a good strike on it. And it was always wrongly positioned in his feet. Always looked as though he was going to pull it wide. But it was a great starting position he received the ball at. And again, it was Tony Daly that was the instigator of a good move from Forest Green.
Well, Forest Green have arranged a marquee at the club headquarters for this evening. It's going to be a celebration one way or another for the Gloucestershire club. They can celebrate clinging on to their conference lives. A victory in the trophy would be a bonus. Tony Daly left writhing in agony as play goes on around him. Daly's back on his feet. Canvey thought about putting it out of play, but no, they continue. It's Tilson. Gregory and Vaughan await the cross. And a shot over the bar from Kennedy.
Full-back popping in there again, but he got a heavy one on Tony Daly. He's needed to slow him down a little bit, and that was a tackle that he needed to put in on him, and it caught him. Referee decided it wasn't a free kick, although I think a lot of referees would have blown for a foul there on Tony Daly.
Stimson. Lockwood. Words of support from the bench for the teenager. He's got quite a tan this afternoon.
I'm not quite sure how the two managers get on with the officials in terms of two people standing up doing the coaching, but it looks as though it's Dave Norton's turn to stand out in front at the minute to direct play.
What may the managerial partnership of Norton and Spink, two former Aston Villa teammates, is going to be broken up after today. They'll find out next week who's going to be the lucky one to get the manager's job at the progressive Forest Green Rovers. Daly is coming in for some rough treatment. Kennedy, in the eyes of the referee, challenged him fairly.
It's one of the features of the Canvey Island players. As soon as they get an opportunity, they free both fullbacks to get forward. Duffy and Kennedy have both run forward very well.
Good hits it long. Chedwin leaves it for his goalkeeper, who may well be out of his area if he uses his hands. Well, the referee deciding that he was fouled.
Difficult decision for a goalkeeper there. Knows he's coming right to the edge of the box, but got to use his hands in that situation, and so close. Yes, I think the referee was
classic,
probably
wasn't
right.
he?
Yes, the referee was right to give the foul. Well done, the goalkeeper.
Battered by Bennett. Transferring the pressure to Duffy. He's uncomfortable.
The referee will give Van Ball there. I think the linesman spotted it. Handball from Duffy. Oh, it's a great little area for a free kick, this.
Will it be a costly mistake for Canvey Island? All of the muscle men thrown into attack. Burns, Lockwood. In the back, Burns went in, missed the header. Here is Lockwood. Now Tony Daly. Stubbed his toe. Bennett. Great interception from Kennedy.
Well, they're piling on the pressure now. It's a good little free kick in there. Follow that with a corner.
And Clark accused of climbing over Mick Bodley. Forest Green have had the greater possession in the second half, but they haven't had the cutting edge This was the goal in the first half, remember, scored by Ben Chenery. His first of the season. Now Micha. Bennett to his right. It's an intelligent ball in from Bennett. Was that handball? Referee says no. A couple of players appeared to be offside. The flag was very late.
I'm not sure whether the linesman was waiting to see whether Bennett went on and got on the end of the ball. He flicked it up over a defender and then followed it through, but there's at least, there's 2 players offside. I think if Bennett had have carried on and got on the ball, I could understand why the linesman left his decision late.
I suppose it was an obvious rationale, wasn't it? Daly's away. Ward, great challenge. He's played all of his football in the non-leagues. He has a double-page spread in the Canvey Island programme. He actually calls himself the Ginger Sex God. I don't know why. Looks every inch a centre-half, doesn't he?
What's that, big and ugly?
I don't say that to him, but you did. Away he goes again. Steve Ward. The battle scars to prove how successful he's been in non-league football.
He looks a rugged character, doesn't he? He looks as though he's enjoying the battle as well.
School teacher, I bet he disciplines his kids. They won't argue with a face like that, will they?
I think that Forest Green are going to make a substitution. Paul Hunt is going to come on. I think he really is the local hero. Been injured all season, and I thought it was almost a sentimental decision making him one of the substitutes. He's had more than his fair share of problems, and I'm not sure whether he's fully fit, but they're going to throw him on there.
Well, he hasn't scored this season. He's only played a handful of games for Forest Green.
It looks as though it's Adi Foster limping off.
Well, it's going to be Paul Hunt to come on. This is the injury which has forced the substitution. Adi Foster seems to have overstretched a hamstring chasing for the ball. And this that end to the final for the Forest Green strike, but on comes a Forest Green legend. Paul Hunt is the man who scored the goal which kept Forest Green Rovers in the conference back in 1999. A prolific scorer, Boggy, as he's known to the supporters.
Could he come on and be the hero? He's certainly a rugged player. Takes no prisoners out there, I know that much.
We saw maybe that Canvey Island were trying to make a change down there as well. They were going to bring on Andy Jones, another striker, but they couldn't find the card which was required by the 4th official to introduce him. I think they've sorted out the formalities now. Andy Jones, the longest serving player at Canvey Island. He'll taste the big time in a moment or two. The next break of play. Jones, been 9 years at the club. He was the first player to ever earn a contract. Habitually the top scorer.
Received a terrific ovation there, clearly a favourite with the crowd.
There is Jones, straight into the thrust of things, taking on Lockwood, and he's got a corner.
Good start for him. Over side of corner with some determination there and persistence. Just takes a little bit of pressure now off Canvey Island, gives them a chance to get a breather.
Over 200 goals Andy Jones has scored. Canvey's rise from the Essex Senior Leagues to the brink of the conference. Wilson's corner. Aaron's catch. He has 2 to aim for up front. Slater.
I thought he would have delivered an early ball there, Perrin. They've got 2 against 2 on the halfway line. Both split, both have got plenty of pace. I thought he might have just launched one very quickly, but he elected to throw out.
Foster. Clark overhits it. Ward to Jones, full of enthusiasm. He was at the club when Jeff King took over. Jeff King described it as a lovely family club where supporters went to have a pint on a Saturday afternoon. Now he says they have a professional edge. It's a serious football club who are going places. The Forest Green substitutes found it a little difficult to come to terms with the pace of this final. Summer's arrived early in England. Great day to come out and see a football match. A lot of shade at this wonderful stadium that is Villa Park. And Stimson involved in a bit of a fracas there. And Martin Foster, and Stimson loses his cool in the heat. He's already been booked, and if the referee saw that, I can only envisage that Stimson is going to be off.
All a bit silly. I think that Foster was being held back, and he then stamped on Stimson, and it looks as though he's now in serious trouble for reacting. I don't think Foster did him any favours there.
It's a tough call for Mr. Wiley.
I think he's going to be sensible now and just let them get on with it. It's a lecture for both players. Yeah, I think they're going to be all right.
The temperature of Stimson burning in the sunshine. And I think after that little fallout, Foster explained to the referee that it was handbags, really. Stimson stays on. Forest Green have a free kick in a scoreable position. Why wasn't he off, says Paul Hunt? Forget this sportsmanship. This is a final. There's a 5-man wall being constructed. You have to go for goal. Oh, frustrating from Slater.
It is frustrating for managers as well when you see that happen. The least you would expect from quality players like Slater would be to be able to hit the target.
Well, this was the incident. It was a rash challenge from Stimson, and it was the afters, really, right under the nose of the referee.
Got himself involved needlessly.
It was a rather sheepish look from Stimson after the event. Should he have gone off, Graham?
In all probability, the referee should have sent him off. He got involved in a fracas there. There was no need to get involved like that, and he's been a lucky lad.
It's been a good, clean game so far.
Well, there's been 1 or 2 tackles flying about, but generally players have got themselves up and got on with it.
Nice footwork from Steve Perrin. He's playing in this final. Last time they got to the trophy final at Wembley, he had a heroic performance in the semi-final, but suffered heartbreak on the big day. He lost his place in the team. So a man called Justin Shuttleworth, who was to blame for the goal, got his place back actually when Shuttleworth, who's a gravedigger by day, dropped a tombstone on his foot and missed 3 games. Honest.
Some classic stories in the non-league scene, eh?
The backroom staff at Forest Green are happy to tell me that story. I don't know if I believe the other one about the unfortunate previous goalkeeper taking to a field once with a coat hanger in the back of his shirt. I'm sure they're having me on. Right, Tony Daly. It's been all Forest Green in the second half, but they can't crack the Canvey code. I think it's the first case of cramp in these energy-sapping conditions. Mark Stimson, almost 34, feeling the pressure, and on comes Harry Johnson. I think they might need a stretcher for Harry if he has to keep running like this. The old Busby Babe, enjoying his moment of glory, and looking after the lad half his age, well, more than half his age. I'm not quite sure who they're supporting, actually. What's with the Red Wigs? Canvey supporters looking a little pensive. It's a slender one-goal lead, but they've withstood the pressure of Forest Green. It's great when you go to these non-league grounds, it's so friendly. The players know the fans, it's that kind of relationship, isn't it?
Well, it is. I think there's something special about it. It's easy to go support Manchester United or Liverpool. It takes a little bit of character to stick with a smaller side, and especially for kids, you know, at school they'll get ribbing that the side's not doing very well. It's very easy to put a Man U shirt or a Liverpool shirt on and claim to be a supporter of them, but never ever see them play. And I think it's great when you have a following like this of Canvey Island and Forest Green. Terrific turnout of supporters, and I think we obviously couldn't get here. We were beaten by Forest Green in the semi-final. It's then a delight to see two clubs like this who've worked hard to establish themselves playing in a showpiece final like this.
The substitution is made. And Mark Stimson, sufferer of cramp, will play no further part. He's been replaced by Adam Tanner, the former Ipswich Town midfield player. His claim to fame was that he once scored the winning goal for Ipswich at Anfield, something he's very proud of. Foster. Now Bennett. Behind him is Martin Foster, screaming for the ball. He gets it. Hunt makes his move. Lovely football from Forest Green. Sting taken out of the situation by Ashley Harrison. He's not been overly busy, but he's done well.
Great little set-up play that, and Foster just couldn't get enough bend on the ball to drift it away from the keeper.
A little backlift on the ball from Tanner. Makes his mark immediately. There's a chance! Oh, that should have been the winner! And doesn't Gregory know it?
Once again, Canvey Island got the full-back forward. Kennedy made a good run down the side. It was a good little ball into the box, and Gregory struck it ever so well, just got too much on the ball, drifted it over the bar, but good play from Canvey Island. Takes the pressure off them again a little bit at the back.
Neil Gregory, the former Ipswich and Colchester striker, but he's full weight behind that one. Had it been 2-0, I'm sure